Okay. Hello, Ms. Smith. My name is Mason Reiter.
I am Lynn.
I'm Wayne.
My name is Jasmine.
Before we start, we all have our agenda and our list of students. So, let's begin. The president of a third world country wants to see an average high school student. We have to decide which of 5 people is the best average student of the bunch to show them around.
The problem is, what are the qualities of the average teenager that we can show the president?
So, I think that one criteria that we need to think of is how is their social life. So in my opinion, they would be kind of outgoing. They probably would not study a lot. They'd have a life, maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend, something of that matter. And would be liked, not non-delinquent.
I think their grades should be average, C or B, and they should not be in any AP classes or things like that.
Well, that could be
The average student usually has 2, 3, 4 close friends, along with multiple other acquaintances that they may only know for a year or two. And as far as the at-school activity, they should be whatever corresponds to their interests.
I have to agree, the average student does have those qualities, and on top of which they usually have some kind of thing that they're always involved in, or something that they're more interested in than others, like things that differentiates them from other people.
You go to clubs or something. So we have to find out what they're going to do when they meet the president. Like, so what would an average student do when they would meet the president?
The average student should have at least one interest outside of school, one extracurricular activity.
I agree.
I think when they meet the president, they shouldn't be that nervous or scared. They should try to open up to the president and, just show their day around.
I think the average student should also try to be a bit respectful, but not so respectful that it seems kind of tense or strict. But just be more outgoing.
So, on to the students. First up, we have Allison Lewis. She's a senior, an A-plus student in line for valedictorian, is accepted to Harvard and Yale, is shy and very, very nervous about talking to people she doesn't know, has few friends because she spends most of her time studying, and has already organized a schedule for the day. I don't think that she is an average student. First of all, she is very above average academically, and second of all, she does not have a social life at all, according to this.
Allison is way above average. She is in line for valedictorian. She has already been accepted to Harvard and Yale, so she's way above average.
The fact she's valedictorian just shows that she is not the average student, since a valedictorian is literally the highest GPA in the graduating class.
Also, her being shy and having very few friends probably means that she's not very social at all. So when she meets the president, he might make her feel uncomfortable, which in turn will make him feel kind of unwanted a bit and tense. The next student is Chloe Hellman. She's a senior, captain of the drill team, a C student, active in theater, well liked by everyone, has a steady boyfriend, is going to a local college due to financial strain on her family of 8, and plans to invite the president to a football game.
To me, I think Chloe Hillman is like the definition of that kind of popular girl in high school that's pretty average. She has C's, and she's going to a local college, so she might be a little below average academically, but she is very social with other people and would get along with the president very well, probably.
I think Chloe would be a good candidate because she is an average student. She's a senior. She is involved in average teenage activities, such as the football game.
Chloe is pretty average, but the one thing that really isn't average is she has a steady boyfriend. A lot of teenagers that I know
has won several local and state awards for her artwork, was on a slow track until they discovered her dyslexia, is considered an overachiever, is from a poor family, hopes to be an artist someday, and thinks the leader might like to spend time at an art gallery and museum.
Olivia is slightly, in my opinion, above average because of her being an AP art. She is also considered an overachiever, so she is not an average teenager.
Being an AP anything isn't really average, so I wouldn't accept Olivia as the average student.
I have to agree. If she's above average in something, that doesn't mean she is average. And also, the average teenager would probably be bored to death in an art gallery and museum, and probably wouldn't actually want to bring someone there to show them the average lifestyle.
And the average teenager probably would not want to be an artist that much. She seems to have her life planned out already, and I don't think the average teenager does.
The next student is Alexander Moore. He's a senior, a B student, is active in debate, always fighting to change the school policy for the better. He appears in mock trials and debates on issues. Has recently been suspended for 3 days after a fight due to a parent's recent divorce, and will take the leader/president to the political rally.
First off, I think that if he's so involved in politics, he might be rude or something to the president, maybe confront him too much because, he's very political and he might offend the president with all his political views and try to force him on him.
I think Alexander is an average student in that he is a B student, but and also in that his parents are divorced, which is average, but his parents are recently divorced, so he is acting out based on that. He might be too much of a behavior risk to chaperone to be with the president for a day.
Yeah, I really like Alexander. He's a B student, which is basically average. He participates in activities that correlate with his personal interests, and I think the leader would like him to talk politics since if he is a good leader, he will recognize other people have different political opinions.
I'd have to agree with them in that it can be taken both ways about whether or not he is a bit confrontational about political things, and that it is a bit true that he will be probably a little emotionally unstable and probably won't be that much of a good choice to be with the president.
Yeah, I think he'd be a pretty average and good choice, except his parents divorced recently, so. And we have Jacob Jones next. He's a junior, a C student, takes regular level courses, rides a motorcycle and wears an earring, is self-confident and well-liked by both students and teachers, has a good sense of humor, started a recycling project at school that has become successful and copied by other high schools, and will take the leader to a practice of his rock group and dinner at a typical fast food restaurant.
Jacob seems to be an average student. He's a C student, taking regular level courses. He would be a good candidate.
I have to agree. He does have the two qualities of a lot of older people like to say that they don't like about teenagers, riding motorcycles and wearing an earring. But he also started a recycling project in the school, and he's also interested in music.
I think it's good that he's a C student, which is average. He takes regular level courses. Pretty much everything about him is average. And then to top it off, he has self-confidence, which means he probably won't be too nervous around the president. He's well liked by most students and teachers, which means that he will be able to be social around him, like the president.
And also, even though it might seem like he has some rebellious qualities, like wearing an earring, he is well liked by both students and teachers, so he probably isn't as rebellious as stereotype would say. So who do you think would be the two best candidates for this position?
I vote for Jacob and Chloe.
I vote for Jacob and Chloe as well.
I vote Jacob and Alexander.
I vote Jacob and Chloe.
So we all did say Jacob and someone else. So Jacob will be the choice.
So finally, how do you think that we're going to test Jacob Jones?
We could let Jacob spend the day with a teacher or vice principal or mayor.
Sounds good to me.
That seems like a good choice. It's just making him take a dry run with somebody of more importance than himself, but not as great as importance as the president.
Yeah, it would even be like he can practice himself and he can judge whether he is a good candidate or not.
And we can ask him to remove his earring.
No, his earring is fine.
You wear earrings. I wear earrings. Here.
So, do you have any final thoughts?